Left wing, right wing, blah, blah, blah. Liberal.
So you guys don't have a problem with me posting this on YouTube after I make some final edits to it?
No. As long as it's clean and sexy.
Oh yeah. As long as we're not doing anything illegal or immoral or unhealthy.
Yeah, even that's okay. But
to a certain degree.
The picking your nose shot, you probably want to get that out.
Yeah.
You know, or if Tyson just farts randomly, you know. Put that in the blooper reel, to the side.
Yeah.
That's
So then your long-term goals, we spoke shortly or somewhat about that the other night. I understand you do have some goals in a year that you'd like to make, and kind of expand on that a little bit.
This guy's got it.
But I always push pretty hard and I set high goals for what I believe is capable of any project I work with. This project I believe in wholeheartedly, so I think the talent of the musicians, the songs are deserving of national and international exposure. So, you know, I would like to see the band opening up for a major label headliner in the next 12 months, and then working our way towards getting that national exposure. Obviously the music industry's changed extensively in the last 5 to 10 years, and the old business model no longer applies. Artists and bands are confused as to whether the best thing for them is major labels or not major labels. At this point, I can see benefits going either direction. So that's something we're going to have to cross, you know, when we get to that bridge. That being said, we need to move wholeheartedly and discernibly in that direction. You know,
Exactly.
push hard.
So if an independent label was to approach you this year sometime, you wouldn't have a problem with exploring the idea then?
Oh, I think we have to talk to everybody that is serious about their business and their industry and what they can bring to the table. And you know, it's a brave new world right now, so anybody that can come with a winning business plan, we'll listen to it and have a intelligent conversation.
They're as passionate as we are about it, and yeah, I mean, nowadays to succeed, you got to stand out. You got to be creative enough to do something different enough to rise yourself above all of the noise that's going on in the internet and all of the other channels that there are. So if we can get with somebody business-minded that's, you know, got the innovation that we're trying to put into the music, then I think that'd be a perfect match.
Well, it seems to me, just the short time that I've known you guys here and talked to you and kind of picked your brain, you have the drive and sounds like the talent and the will to get it all done. You just need a little help, a little direction, and a little somebody to help push the car along. As I've always said,
as many hands as we can get behind pushing this. Yeah, it'd be great.
So you know, as a continuing project, you know things are going to get a little bit crazy, and you're going to have fans. People are going to see you on YouTube. People are going to see you on stage. People are going to approach you. People are going to want to know things about you that you're probably not going to want to share with them. But I figure in this little venue here, it's probably safe to ask some questions like, Tyson, everybody has hobbies. Do you have a hobby?
I work my hobby. You know, music is what I do. When I'm not doing music, I don't know.
Drink beer?
I think probably the same stuff everybody else does. You know, I try and keep in shape, so I'll go to the gym and ride a bike, go for a run.
So you're not into like, painting or?
No, I mean, right now, multimedia is video production is something I've been into quite a bit for the last 3 years. It was kind of the natural progression. Being a musician and songwriter, I got into audio production, recording years and years ago. So, learning that and being adept at that over the last 10 years or so, the next step was, it was an easy transition to go into the video side of things. It interested me. The technology got to the point where it made it financially feasible and to get a great product. So that's kind of a hobby for me right now. Other than that, I don't know.
What about you, Chris? You have a hobby or?
I'm
an addiction?
A pretty creative guy. I like to create in really any kind of capacity that I can do it, whether it be drawing or painting or writing. I just like to create. I'm now getting more into graphic design and doing more graphic work, especially because it can all be used in kind of what we're doing as far as the marketing material that we do, band posters and show flyers and everything. You need graphics just for just about everything nowadays. And so that's something that I'm really into, the way things look. I've always kind of been fascinated by the way things look. So when I make music, generally there's a visual, like a color or a scene or something that I kind of reference, that kind of go hand in hand. And so it's cool being able to deliver both the song and the graphic or the visual piece that kind of parallels each song. And going forward, I would like to be able to do more of that for marketing materials, and when we do things like lyric videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and bring more of that into like our show when we start doing projections and having more live visuals and stuff like that. That would be cool. So people will know that hopefully when they watch this that we're doing this from the ground up like 100%. It's not Joe Blow that we hire or some team from India, that's doing it. Like everything is from the heart. Everything that we create is going out to you guys.
So would you say this is probably mostly a labor of love rather than a focus on the business end of the music industry and that kind of thing?
Well, the great thing about it now is instead of just being purely music, things like photography and video production that Tyson likes to do, or graphic design, art, things that I like to do, that you can do all of those and bring them into the project now. Like they're not just hobbies anymore. They're different aspects or different areas that you can kind of get into and incorporate. So it's a really altruistic, complete type of situation now that you create. It's not purely 3.5 minutes of music on a disc that's 60 minutes now. There's a lot more that goes into it. And the great thing is it takes more talent, but it also is more rewarding because it's more of a complete reflection of who we are.
So would you say that you are more a multimedia artist now than a musician?
Ooh, that's tough.
I mean, if you take it a step further, you're not just playing music, you are now dabbling in all aspects of entertainment, including video, audio, graphic arts, music, the whole genre. I mean, everything combined together rather than just focus on the music.
I would go as far as saying we are professional musicians. We're very very good at that. The rest of it is hobby.
Right.
So to say that we take the other aspects as seriously or are as talented at that as we are at songwriting, song recording, live shows is, we're definitely not.
Right.
Definitely not. So in that respect, I mean, to bring other people in, whether it be graphic artists, videographers, cinematographers, to shoot videos with, I mean, I think that's definitely something that we should probably do, because if we're putting together what we are expert at and then go out and find experts that are expert at what they're expert at, there's something to be said for that. That being said, we definitely put what we can in now to make it the best experience we can for the listener. You know, if we're putting out a CD, we want something that sounds great, something that sounds that they're going to be into, that we're into. Art, the art needs to go well with the music. It needs to represent us. It needs to represent the music. And I am not convinced that I can sit down and draw that, so maybe there might be somebody else that needs to.
But you always have this man right here to kind of take up the slack, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Well, that's
As
the
much
good,
as we can.
that's
Yeah.
the good thing about being in a band, though. I mean, is because he might come to the table with something and say, "Man, this is what I did," and then the other band members can look at it and be objective and say, "It's good, but it's not great. Let's keep working." You know, maybe I come up with something, photography, you know, I take a picture of something, I said, "Hey man, maybe this is something we could use." And then these guys can look at it and say, yes or no, or maybe, or let's shelf that and table that and see what else comes up. Because not every idea that comes out of either of our heads are great ideas. You know, sometimes you gotta walk away from them.
Exactly.
But that's the benefit of being in a band and respecting the other person's artistic view, whether it be music or anything. They can save you from making that embarrassing.
It's tough to be a solo.
The city had grown cold and dark. The light had left the people's hearts. The fire that was once so warm and bright, and all the promises of eternal lives. I left to find some peace again.